Okay, folks, this piece was on special when I got it, so it was cheap compared to what it normally is. And I just figured I'd use it as a part of my demo set. Why not? Got to use everything you can, folks. You can't afford to choose the best things. You got to choose junk, what would normally be considered junk, to make something interesting and worthy. So let's see how we go with this. Don't know how it's going to look. This is an interesting piece. I'm going to make this dark. Going to make it dark, and we're going to make a negative image out of it, and maybe add a background colour, maybe cyan for this. See how we go with this piece, and see if it make it look any good. It is. It's off an ice cream, off one of those Lux ones, as Magnum, of all things. Occasional bit of fucking luxury. But, you know, it costs a lot of money when you pay for the full price. But you can get them sometimes for half price, or 40. I think in this case it was 40% off. So it was a really good deal at my local Coles. But, you know, you can't always get that all the time. Might as well use the lid, not throw it away until I've done something useful. And that's come up looking really quite interesting shapes and patterns. I do think I might enlarge it a bit bigger there and maybe cut it there, make it into something really nice. Yeah, it's really good to utilise what you can, folks. It's really good not to waste things. So just because it's considered a piece of refuse, it still can be utilised, and you might as well, especially when you're on a low budget like myself and you're trying to make ends meet. Good news is this photocopier has just been nearly paid off after 6 years on a loan, so I'm looking forward to not having to pay for this every month, every 2 weeks I think it is, if I remember correctly, 2 weeks that I have to pay this off in instalments from the bank. So it's really, I've had problems paying for it in the past, and basically I probably won't be eligible for a new bank loan after this one. So really disappointed by that, but you know, what can you do, folks? You got to try your hardest to make ends meet, and sometimes you have to unfortunately bottom out your fucking bank loan as well as, yeah. And it's really so difficult to try and juggle things on a low budget. I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news. I'm trying to get on Channel 9 to get recognised as an artist, and also to get in touch with my partner Luigi, who I really want to marry and I miss. And it's really proven to be more difficult than I thought, trying to get this stuff out there. I thought my talent was going to shine, and that was like 12 years ago, and I thought my talent was good enough to make it, but it seems like I had to do social media to the point of ad nauseum, and I'm still doing social media, folks. I'm still fucking working it and cranking it hard, and it's really proven to be difficult to try and get these news people interested in what I have to offer, and it's really difficult. I'm going to move it up a bit, I do think. And it's difficult, folks. It's really, really hard trying to prove that you're worth putting on the news, that your work is worth it. I know they like scrappy bits of dash cam footage, and they like to hear about crime and all that, and suffering and all that, but that's not going to help a person like myself, unfortunately, and I'm trying my hardest to compete on this unlevel playing field, and guess who's in the the underdog position? It's me. I'm the underdog, folks. I'm the one that looks set to lose in every time I try to compete with other news items that have apparently appear to have more clout than my material. And it really is difficult. It's quite disheartening trying to put all your fucking work into it and all your fucking eggs in one basket. I really do think that Channel 9 has what I need to get me out there and get me up there and on the airwaves, and to do a very good job of it. But it's really challenging trying to convince them that my work is really worth it. It's difficult, it's disheartening, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let Channel 9's laziness or slackiness stop me from making it, because I'm determined. I'm going to stick to them. I'm going to stick. You know, I'm going to keep going at it and going at it and going at it and going at it until I get it. So I got to keep making it happen. I've got to keep the momentum, folks. I don't care what they think. You know, I don't care. In the end, it's them against me, and I know that I can win, and I know I can do it if I'm given the chance. I know I can do it. I know I can make a good story, you know. One day I want to redesign the photocopier. That is a story in itself, folks, and it's a long story. I'm pretty sure it would be a long story eventually if I can just think about what to say and write it down. I don't like writing things down though, folks. I'm not a write it down sort of person, folks. My handwriting's really bad, probably due to my disability. I have what's called an alternating squint with my eyes. This is not the disability that stops me from achieving in the workplace or socially. This is basically an eye problem. And my handwriting has always been very, very bad. It has. It's never been very good. Handwriting, but handwriting is the least of my worries. But basically I had a cord around my neck and I came out breech, and that's fucked up my short-term memory and my hippocampus. And then I've also believe I have high-functioning autism. These are both not been diagnosed, but I do have a diagnosed disability that gives me Centrelink, that gives me this social housing, and I can't talk about it because it carries a stigma, and stigma can be a real bad thing, folks. So I have to hold it there and maybe talk about it once I've become a success. But basically, I won't let my whatever disabilities I have stop me from making the future bright for myself and for others. They will have technology one day that'll fix the brain damage. I have to be patient and wait for it. But basically, I'm trying to get in touch with my partner Luigi, and that's come up looking better than I thought. I think we can now call this demo quits.